know the obesity rate has tripled in the past 25 years? According to an article written by CNN in 2016, more than half the population over the age of 2 consumes a sugary drink at least once a day. Today, Americans drink 20% more diet soda than they did 15 years ago. According to a survey done by Forbes in 2015, Diet Coke was the number 2 most popular drink in the United States, second behind brand name Coke. Previously, Axel made the claim in this speech that diet soda is a healthier alternative to regular soda. Diet soda is often touted as a healthier alternative because it's said to taste just as good while reducing our caloric intake. However, I'm here today to tell you that diet soda is not a healthier alternative to regular soda. However, both refreshments have been proven to be extremely healthy and risky to our health. Have been proven to be risky to our health. I'll be touching on the many side effects that come with consuming the artificial sweeteners found in Diet Coke. I'll be explaining to you how diet soda is actually found to cause weight gain, as well as the connection between diet soda and an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. Axel's first supporting claim was that the risks that regular soda contain, especially his high fructose corn syrup. And after all, this is true, and high fructose corn syrup does lead to weight gain and high blood sugar and high blood pressure. However, after I did some further research, I found out that artificial sweeteners found in Diet Coke or diet sodas are just as bad as these high fructose corn syrups, and they're not as sweet as we think. Going back to my main point, that the side effects in artificial sweeteners, these side effects that they have on our mind and body. There's 3 main artificial sweeteners that are found in most of the everyday foods and drinks that we consume. This is sucralose, saccharin, and aspartame. And the main one I'm going to be speaking on today is aspartame, mostly because it's the compound mainly found in diet drinks. Aspartame is notably found in NutraSweet and Equal. I'm sure if you've ever been to a restaurant, you've seen the packs of NutraSweet and Equal on the table that you can mix with your coffee and tea. Aspartame is actually 200 times sweeter than regular sugar. According to WebMD, aspartame has been related to headaches, memory loss, vision loss, dizziness, and nausea. Theanine, the chemical found in aspartame, is found to reduce levels of serotonin. And a good serotonin balance can regulate energy levels, balance, appetite, sleep, moods, and impulses. Consuming aspartame at high levels Consuming aspartame can reduce these levels, which in turn can lead to depression or high anxiety. This is especially bad for people who already suffer from depression or anxiety. So, according to a study done by Case Western, they wanted to see who suffered. They wanted to see whether those who already suffered from mood disorders were more vulnerable to suffer from the effects of aspartame. They took 40 patients who suffered from depression, and their control group was 40 patients without depression or mental health disorder, basically. And they basically just tested to see. They gave them sodas each day. I'm not sure how many they gave them, but they gave them a soda each day. And the study was actually brought to a halt halfway through by the Institutional Review Board because of the severity of the reactions due to aspartame by those with a history of depression. One thing I thought was interesting is usually companies are willing to donate, their products to researchers in order to ensure the betterment and safety of their products to people who consume them. But when researchers asked NutraSweet if they could use some of their product in a test, NutraSweet actually denied them to sell any of their product to them. So I kind of thought that was interesting. Dr. James Bradley, an allergy expert out of Hollywood, Florida, said that 90% of all migraines are caused by food allergens or additives. He also said that 10% of migraine patients suffer from headaches caused by aspartame. Secondly, Axel claimed that diet soda helps reduce the health risks that come along with drinking regular soda. Some of these risks include high blood pressure, obesity, heart disease, and etc., more things. After several studies, researchers at Purdue University concluded that artificial sweeteners throw off the body's ability to know how many calories it needs, which in turn leads to overeating. Researchers from the University of Texas found that over the course of about a decade, diet soda drinkers had a 70% increase in waist circumference compared to those of non-drinkers. And get this, people who drink 2 or more sodas a day had a 500% greater increase in waist circumference. This leads me to my third and final point, that there's an increased risk of type 2 diabetes when drinking diet soda. Drinking one diet soda a day was associated with 36% increased risk of metabolic syndrome and diabetes, according to the University of Minnesota. Metabolic syndrome is referred to as a group of factors that raise the risk for heart disease, such as high blood pressure, elevated glucose levels, and high cholesterol. One recent study showed that diabetes factors were found. There was a correlation between diabetes factors and drinking diet soda. In the study, researchers also found a significant link between the diet soda and the development of high blood sugar levels and belly fat, which are also which are also risks of metabolic syndrome. So all in all, basically, diet soda is not a healthier alternative to regular soda. Both sodas are not healthy per se. Both sodas contain risks, and both sodas have compounds and things that are not healthy to the body, and overconsumption and over large amounts of time can be very dangerous to the body. Thank you.
Well, I like to lead in with the general information about obesity to set up what the argument was about. You do identify what the advocate's claim is and what their secondary claims are going to, well, actually not what their secondary claims were, you identified what their claim was. You outlined basically what your secondary claims are going to be. So this is mostly a rebuttal speech talking about the point of view, the argument from the other perspective. And it's a nicely put together rebuttal speech when it comes to providing a variety of information. I think that that's fine. I do see a missed opportunity to discuss the quality of the advocate's information, the way in which they've reasoned to arrive at their conclusions, so that we can contrast what is being said by the advocate to the arguments that you're presenting. However, you did do a good job, like I said, clearly identifying what the claims were that you were going to support, offering proof for those particular arguments. Like I said, the absence of contrast on the information makes it a little bit harder to figure out how we should evaluate the two positions, at least, like I said, in the context of hearing his speech today. Like I said to the earlier speaker, if we were listening to a debate, maybe it would be a little bit easier to make that contrast because we just heard it. But I thought you cited your evidence very consistently. There's a lot of information there. There are a couple of places where I think there's a little bit less certainty in the information than is necessary. But on the other hand, there are 2 or 3 places where it's really specific, like the issue of migraine headaches, and the waist circumference data that you have at the end, I think, is kind of interesting. And it's very specific to the subject that you're talking about. This metabolism argument has been discussed. I don't remember if the advocate talked about that at all. That's one of the things that's controversial on this particular subject, and why maybe we need to have a little bit more discussion that directly confronts those issues. Like I said, you did a good job presenting for the most part. I'd watch the hands in the pocket thing. That's kind of it's a thing that people do to try to be comfortable, but sometimes it looks a little bit more nervous than it is comfortable and confident. When you're engaged, I think you do a much better job and are a lot more convincing. Thank you.